Aloha. So remember I told you I was going to tell you all the adversities that came as I feel like a pushback for this awakening of the Lemurian energy. And why the pushback? The pushback I feel is the old paradigm is really trying to hinder us from bringing in this new light, because we are determined, together with other amazing groups that are out there like Solvana or Agape or many other beautiful light groups of light workers that are out there, to help raise the frequency of the mass consciousness and create this shift of humanity by that, when we create a tipping point so that we can move out of fear and into love. Yeah, we can create heaven on earth. And so we're here for that, you know that. And of course, when you do something like that, there is a pushback. Now, our pushback was so grandiose. I was just totally baffled by it. Why so grandiose? Also because the way I have so far lived my life is with a lot of angel support, and we're manifesting consciously. And as we're manifesting consciously, we're holding space for only the perfect outcome to appear, as well as I'm removing the obstacles out of the way beforehand. Those are all tools I'm teaching in my courses. And of course, I'm using them myself. So I knew I had a lot of obstacles already removed. I had the violet flame going. I had angelic support for the comparative to what happened afterwards. This is really amazing. I'm wondering what would have happened had I not had that. We probably wouldn't have had the summit. So first thing that happens, we rented a house up on the coast in Hawaii, where we had real quiet and where we could record for 48 hours straight and really be fully focused. Yeah. And we also needed good internet, which it had there. And so now we're getting up in the morning that day of the event, and I'm checking the internet, and it turns out the internet is not even half of the lowest internet I found on my search for good internet. So it's really, really bad. We had 2.5 down and 0.5 up. No question we can do this. Well, we thought, okay, right now it is 6:30. I need to be on the computer at 7 and start meditating until the event starts at 8. So what if I just use my phone as a hotspot? My phone has good reception, and we're going to get the first session started, and then we'll move. Moving to another place was a 2-hour drive. We're in Hawaii, yeah? So that wasn't to be done real quick. Okay, good. Now I'm turning on the light switch, and as I'm turning on the light switch, I'm realizing no electricity. The whole house is out of electricity. Well, it turns out it's a solar house, which I wasn't aware of, but they still solar, many things are in Hawaii solar. They had never had an outage. Today was the outage. The whole batteries were all empty. Now, not only that, the batteries normally charge within an hour. We're looking out and we have pouring rain. The sky is completely dark. There's no way those batteries are going to charge within 5 hours. Okay, so battery is dead, no charging possible. My phone I cannot use as a hotspot because I have not enough charge on the phone, especially not on the computer. The phone, I had a battery pack I could plug in, but the computer does have charge for, a short amount of time, and that's it. In fact, turns out, I looked at it, it was empty because we had tried to get some recordings up at night. So as it wasn't charging at night, it was empty. Now I sent my son to the neighbor to see if he could load the computer so the computer is charged. I'm going to use my phone as a hotspot. We don't care about the electricity. That didn't work. The neighbors weren't home. Okay, next option was get a generator going. So we go in the garage to this vacation rental. The person on the phone with us, tried to tell us what we can do to get electricity. And she directs us to this generator, totally complicated, where you had to walk and what you had to do. Well, we had to get half of her garage, disassemble and get everything out and moved in order to get even to the generator. By now it's, of course, 10 to 7. I'm not dressed. I'm not ready. I'm working with this generator together with my assistant and my son. And the India team is in the starting shoes, and they're like, we're ready. And so is everybody who's coming on. Now I'm working with this generator. Thankfully, I knew how to work a generator because so I could start this thing, and I'm starting it, and it turns out there's no gas in the generator. So now we're looking for gas, we're finding gas, we're filling it up. So now we filled up the generator, and we're starting it, and the thing starts, and 5 seconds later, it's done, and that was the end of it. It would never get on again. Well, what do? It's now after, just before 8, I think, what was it? It was 20 past 7. 20 past 7, and we're completely stuck. No internet, no electricity, no light, and we have an event happening. We have hundreds of people waiting for us. So I say, we'll just have to get in the car, and we just have to make it work. I don't know what's going to happen. The calculations don't work out. Numbers don't work in this way that we don't have enough time to get to the next town with internet in order to make it. But we're just going to have to try and see what happens. So we pack everything into the car. You know, you see the whole crew, my son and my assistant, myself, the dog, you know, and get them all into the car and driving to Hilo, rushing to Hilo, which is the next town. And I'm saying, in this case, we're just going to go to Starbucks. We don't have time to test anything. We know Starbucks has good internet, and we're just going to start the session, tell everybody what's going on, get everybody on board, because I wanted to do this Lemurian activation. I really felt the Lemurians waiting in line to bring their codes up to everyone and upload it into the field. So I wanted to create that temple field, yeah? And so we're arriving at Starbucks 10 past 8. I'm on the phone with everyone on the whole drive, including the India team, and ask them to start the chat and tell everybody that we're going to be a little late. That was supposed to be 10 minutes late. We would have made that, right? Well, little did you know, we're going to Starbucks. Running in, I'm bringing the computer, the boys are parking the car, and turns out COVID. Nobody's allowed to sit at Starbucks. We're not even allowed to plug in our computers. I cannot plug the computer. I'll be willing to do it outside. It was pouring rain outside. No. So now back in the car, whole crew back in the car, drive again. Drive to the next hotel. I remember there was one hotel I tested. I went to that. I felt better than nothing. Set up at the hotel in the lobby, put all the cameras in, the loudspeakers, everything, while the boys are going to the lobby to get the internet password. Now, what happened now is something never happens to me. Really never. People are always cooperating with me. I'm cooperating with them because the angels are already opening doors. So the doors were opened, and this lady, and in Hawaii, everybody cooperates also. And this lady was not. She's at the lobby. She says, you don't get the password unless you have a room. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just renting a room here. $300, you got a room. Well, you don't get the room until the room is cleaned. And the room is going to be cleaned at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And until you have a room, you don't get internet. So we tried to argue with her for a little bit longer. At this point, we had arrived at 8:20. Now it's 8:30. And it's still not happening. So we pack everything up again, believe it or not. The dog is in the car, totally distraught. We're going to get the doggy calmed down again, because of course the doggy was going to hang out with us, but she can't be with us in the hotel. So we have all these little pieces that we're working with. And now we're going to the next hotel, whatever hotel is next door, running in. Now that happens to be my favorite hotel in that town. And I'm running in, I'm setting up again, just trusting it's going to work without me doing a conversation at the lobby. Let the boys do that. And while Caleb is parking the car, my son did all that, and he's only 11. So he went and did all that, talked with the lady, and they cooperate with us. They gave us the password. We had the password. I'm setting up the password, and now it is 8:50, which is the end of my session. So I made it to the end of my session. And my next presenter is already live. Joan Ocean was totally amazing, saved the day. So she's already live. And she is waiting for me to give her instructions on how to get on stage. And so I quickly jump on stage to tell everybody what's going on, and was intending to create still a container, just do it quick. And there is this recording already uploaded from the night earlier when we tried to get the recordings up. And I clicked the button for me to come on stage, and it ends up the recording that plays. Now this recording plays of one of the presenters, Ashtara, that was going to come later. And the India team says, just let it play. People don't know that that's not meant. They've been waiting for an hour. They've been chatting. People were amazing. Amazing. They used the lounge. We had this amazing lounge set up in this new platform called AirMeet. And in the platform, you can talk with each other as if you're meeting in front of a ballroom or so where the actual event happens. So they were sitting at tables and talking with each other and having a great time. My India team would drop in here and there, see how they're doing, and inform everybody in the chat. And they did great. So really, eventually what happened is that the whole group set the stage. That is what happened. The whole group set the stage together. And I felt that, this was the blessing in all of that, was that we created this, we gave room unintendedly, but all the amazing beings that came to this beautiful summit were all high elevated light workers. So they knew how to deal with extra time. They just use it positively, and they were talking with each other. Inspiration was happening, heart openings were happening, ideas were being exchanged. So they were prepping the stage while the angels were creating that container for us. So all of this was happening without my doing. So grateful. And so then while Ashtara is playing, I'm realizing this is not the recording I can leave on in the beginning. Her session was meant for a later state in the day, and it was very specific. It wasn't something that you can start an event with. And so I ended up just making a judgment call, calling it off and talking to the people and saying, okay, this is what's happening. We have a glitch here, and lots of glitches. And, asking for everybody's support. Now, the minute I asked for the support of the group, everything opened up. Everything opened up. And to me, this is an amazing lesson, because this Lemurian energy is about us coming together, working together. And if you've noticed, this whole narrative was a little bit of a, struggle with just a few people involved, yeah? And really what we needed is this support of coming together. So everybody came together, they blessed, they sent alms, they supported. If you were part of it, you did send alms, you did send your blessings. If you hear me right now, thank you for that. And what happened is everything opened up. The recordings lined up so we could totally have them all in line where we needed them. We moved while I got Joan Ocean on stage. I introduced her. She did the most wonderful first session, totally inspiring, beautiful background. All the lighting was working, the technology was working. And during that time, we were moving up to the hotel room. So we barely had time during that hour of her presentation to move and get set up. So by the time we were set up, she was done and I came on stage, and now I could do my work as a host and as a supporter and as an energy boost for every presenter, all the people there, and just really get the energy going with all the invisible beings, bridging the physical and the invisible. And it was wonderful. All along, the whole team of all the people that were part of this event were holding space, supporting this, sending love every time I needed to do a recording. I felt very supported, and I felt we all had come together like a big group, and we wanted to continue it afterwards. So we actually ended up creating a membership group, continued membership experience for the people who signed up for the event, so that we could all stay together and continue this amazing together experience. And the idea is to accelerate everybody's life that way, because when you come together, like what happened for us, the adversities that are really strong during these times, and very strong, especially if you're doing light work, they are being bypassed and change transformed with support. You need a ton of energy for that, a ton of support. And so this is what we're doing now for everybody. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for how this worked out. And I'm so grateful we ended up still, actually doing the event. I thought at some point, is it actually going to happen? Everything I tried was not working. There was a no, continuously. But we stayed positive. We stayed kind with each other. We stayed supportive of each other. And we eventually brought the whole group in. And everything worked. And amazing. So if you have any adversities going on in your life, especially if you're a light worker, I hope this inspires you to keep continuing and to really also bring in the support from other people, beings, light workers. That's why I say beings, people and beings. Yeah, bring them in. And check out our membership if you like. It's called Lemurian Tribe on my website, arialawrence.com. And be part of it if you feel called. But thank you for being part of this upliftment of this planet. And don't allow the adversities, the old paradigm to hold you back. Just keep going gently, no anger needed, no pushing needed. Just keep going and don't stop. Yeah. Blessings. Aloha.